You ever feel like you're just wrestling with your cloud infrastructure instead of, building great products? Trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're going to share a real-world blueprint for taming that exact chaos on Google Cloud. It's a journey from total frustration to a high-performing developer platform, and you can definitely learn from it. So let me ask you this. Does any of this sound familiar? You've got these brilliant developers, right? But they're constantly hitting roadblocks, just bogged down by friction. Or maybe your cloud environment feels like the Wild West. It's unpredictable, untamed, and frankly, kind of dangerous. If you're nodding your head right now, then you know exactly where our story begins. Every great transformation story has to start with a problem. And ours, well, it began in what we started calling the era of cloud chaos. We had incredible talent, powerful tools, but we had zero structure. It was like giving a master chef all these amazing ingredients, but no actual kitchen to cook in. The result? Just a lot of wasted effort and some pretty deep frustration. And the symptoms of this chaos? Oh man, they were everywhere and they were painful. We had projects scattered all over the cloud, and every single one was a unique snowflake set up in a completely different way. Security felt like we were playing a constant losing game of whack-a-mole. And the billing? Let's just say there were some very, very unpleasant five-figure surprises. But the real cost? Our developers. The brilliant people we hired to innovate were spending more time fighting the system than building the future. They were just completely and totally blocked. Look, you just can't build a skyscraper on a swamp. So our first move wasn't about shiny new tools or some radical new tech. Nope. It was about draining that swamp and pouring a solid, concrete foundation. Phase 1 was all about creating order from the chaos, standardizing the absolute fundamentals of our GCP environment. So how'd we do it? We started with the bedrock. First up, a standard logical organization and project structure. No more guesswork, no more chaos, everything at home. Second, we rolled out a shared VPC. This immediately centralized our network management, which slashed complexity and gave our security team a single point of control. And third, we established baseline IAM roles. This made sure everyone had the access they needed and only the access they needed from day one. This wasn't just cleanup. This was building the launch pad for everything that was going to come next. Okay, so with a solid foundation in place, we could finally shift our focus. Phase 1 was all about control and stability. Phase 2, this is all about enablement and speed. It was time to stop just saying no to the wrong ways of doing things and start paving a superhighway for the right way. We called this paving the golden paths. So what exactly is a golden path? Well, think of it like this. You can let your developers bushwhack their way through a dense, dangerous jungle to get to their destination. Or you can build them a well-lit, perfectly paved highway with clear signs. The golden path is that highway. It's the officially supported, easiest, and fastest way to build and deploy a service, with all the best practices for security, logging, and monitoring already baked right in. And here's how we built that developer highway. We created standardized service templates. This let a developer spin up a new, totally compliant microservice in minutes, not weeks. We introduced self-service tooling, giving them a simple portal to request infrastructure without filing a single ticket. And, crucially, we automated our CI/CD pipelines, which made deployments reliable, repeatable, and fast. The goal here was simple: make the right way the easy way. So, we had order, we had speed, but there was one final frontier: moving from a reactive, firefighting mode to a proactive, automated one. Phase 3 was all about embedding governance so deeply into the platform that it just became an invisible, automatic safety net. This is really where the platform starts to work for you. The transformation here was just stark. It was night and day. We went from reactive firefighting when an alert was screaming at us to proactive monitoring that caught issues before they ever impacted users. Those manual, soul-crushing policy reviews, they got replaced by automated guardrails built directly into our deployment pipelines. If it wasn't compliant, it simply wouldn't ship. And that inconsistent ad hoc observability became institutionalized visibility, where every single service had clear, standard dashboards from the moment it was born. So after this entire journey, from the Wild West to a well-paved city, what are the core lessons you can pull from this blueprint? As you look at your own environment, what should you really take away to start your own transformation? All right, here are the big ones. First, do not skip the foundation. I know it isn't glamorous, but it is absolutely essential. Second,
Golden paths are the perfect way to balance developer freedom with organizational control. Third, you cannot scale governance without automation, period. Fourth, while our story is on GCP, these core principles apply everywhere. And finally, and this might be the most important point of all, this is a cultural shift. It's about changing how your entire organization thinks about, builds, and ships software.
So we've walked through the blueprint of a major transformation. Now the question really turns to you. As you look at your own cloud, your own chaos, and your own goals, what is the very first brick you're going to lay in your platform blueprint? Thanks for watching.